The night air was cool and quiet, brushing softly against Jungkook's face as he walked down the almost empty street. He had just finished dinner with his new colleagues. A formal, polite gathering meant more for appearances than enjoyment. Joining one of the biggest companies in the city was a huge achievement, but for him, blending in with people was harder than excelling at work. It was his first month at the new job, and tonight's dinner was supposed to help him connect with his colleagues. He had smiled when needed, laughed at jokes that weren't funny, and nodded at stories he didn't care to remember. He was hardworking, sincere, and good at what he did, but he was terrible at small talk. Everyone noticed it too. He wasn't the type who spoke much unless he had to. His intelligence and looks often drew attention, but he never quite knew what to do with it. Girls at the office flirted, smiled too brightly, slipped him their numbers, even offered late-night dinners. But he wasn't foolish. He knew the charm would fade the moment they realized he wasn't the exciting type, just a simple man who spent more time buried in books than bars. So, instead of calling a taxi, he decided to walk. The restaurant wasn't too far from his apartment anyway, and he liked the silence. It helped him breathe after all that noise. His black office bag swung from his shoulder, and he fiddled absently with its strap, his eyes downcast as he walked along the riverside path that led to the bridge. And then, something made him stop. At first, it was just a shadow in his peripheral vision, a person maybe. He almost ignored it, but something about how still the figure was made him frown. He turned his head slightly, squinting under the dim light. It was a woman, standing near the railing of the bridge. Her back was facing him. He slowed his pace, eyes narrowing as he tried to make sense of what he was seeing. You were dressed in a long, black backless dress that moved gently with the wind. Your hair, messy and tangled, shimmered faintly under the streetlight. For a moment, it looked like you were just standing there, maybe taking in the air, or watching the river below. But then you moved. Your arms pressed against the railing, your toes barely touching the ground as you lifted yourself slightly. And in that instant, his heart dropped. You weren't standing there to breathe. You were standing there to jump. Jungkook, hey. His voice cracked through the silence before he even realized he was shouting. He froze for half a second. Then his bag hit the ground with a dull thud as his legs broke into a run. All he saw was a stranger, dangerously leaning over the railing, the river roaring softly beneath. Hey, stop, stop. You didn't even hear him. Or maybe you did and didn't care. You had already pulled yourself halfway up, your hands gripping the railing, and then strong arms wrapped around your waist, yanking you backward. You gasped sharply, thrashing against him, your back hitting his chest, his heart pounding wildly against your spine. He didn't think, he just held on. Yin, let me go. You bastard. Who the hell gave you permission to touch me? You screamed, your voice breaking halfway through. Your nails dug into his arms as you tried to twist away, but his grip only tightened. His body was shaking, not from fear of you, but fear of what could have happened. Jungkook, what are you doing? His voice came out louder than he meant, his breath ragged. Are you out of your mind? He turned your body, moving you a few steps away from the edge until your heels hit the concrete path. But you didn't stop struggling. You tried again to push past him, your movements weak but desperate. Yin, I said leave me, you shouted, eyes wild, tears spilling down your cheeks. Jungkook, stop, he said, almost pleading now, his tone gentler but trembling. Please just stop. That's when his eyes finally focused on your face. You were trembling all over, your skin pale as snow under the dim light. Your eyes were swollen and bloodshot, the rims raw from crying. Your lips were bluish, trembling as your breath came out in short gasps. The makeup around your eyes had smudged completely, running down your cheeks like messy ink. You looked like someone who had been crying for hours, maybe even days. Jungkook's heart twisted painfully. You weren't just drunk or reckless. You were broken. Jungkook, hey, calm down please, calm down, he said softly, but his tone carried panic, real fear. You kept twisting, your body fighting against his hold like you were fighting for your life, or to end it. The pressure in your chest built until it burst out of you. Yin, let me go. You screamed so raw it cut through the quiet night like a blade. It was the kind of scream that carried years of pain, anger, exhaustion, heartbreak. It was the kind of sound that made Jungkook freeze, his heart crashing in his chest. Yin, leave me, you cried, your voice breaking with every word. Please, I beg you, just leave me alone. You sank down suddenly, collapsing to the ground near his feet. You sank down, your back curling, your head hanging low as your tears fell onto the cold concrete beneath you. Jungkook didn't move. He was still holding your wrists, his grip tight, terrified that the second he let go, you'd run back to that edge. Jungkook, I can't let you do this, he whispered, his voice shaking now. Please, just take a deep breath. Calm down, please. But you weren't listening. Your words kept spilling out between sobs. Yin, leave me please, I beg you, you said again. I can't anymore. Your whole body trembled, and Jungkook felt it. The exhaustion, the hopelessness, the way your strength had drained away completely. Jungkook, everything can be solved, he said quietly, crouching slightly closer but still keeping a distance, his hands trembling around yours. This isn't the way out. This isn't the right decision, please. Your head snapped up, your eyes burning with pain and fury. Yin, none of your business, you shouted, your voice hoarse from crying. None of your business. Your scream echoed in the empty night, but Jungkook didn't flinch. He didn't back away or argue. He just looked at you, really looked at you, and for a second, it broke something inside him. Jungkook, I know it's not my business, but right now, I'm the only one here, and I can't let you take this step. I just can't. But the more he tried to hold you, the more your chest tightened, and finally everything inside you exploded. You screamed so loudly that his ears rang. You tried to yank your hands free, tried to run again, to break his hold. To you, dying felt easier than living another minute in that pain. Yin, leave me, I beg you, just leave me. Your voice cracked at the end, and Jungkook's blood ran cold. Jungkook, please take a deep breath. Just calm down for a second, please. You ignored every word he said. You fell to the floor in pure defeat, sinking down right near his feet. Your hands were still locked in his grip, trembling violently. You looked so small, so tired, so broken. Yin, why would you even care? You kept cursing him, shouting, shaking, crying, but he didn't care, not even for a second, because he wanted you to scream. He wanted you to let it out. If screaming at him meant you would stay alive, he would willingly take every word. Slowly, he lowered himself into a crouch so he was on your level, close enough to catch you if you tried to run again, but gentle enough not to scare you. Jungkook, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for whatever you went through. I'm sorry that life pushed you this hard. I'm sorry that you feel this alone. But this, his voice broke, this is not the only ending, and it's not the ending you deserve. You finally stopped struggling, not because you were calm, but because you were exhausted. Your eyes were still wild, but something in his voice hit deep inside you, like a nerve that had been waiting years to hear those words. He slowly reached forward, his voice more softer than ever. Jungkook, listen to me. Life gets hard, sometimes unbearably hard, but dying will only let the people who hurt you win. They will say you were weak. They will say you couldn't survive. Your eyes widened and your throat tightened painfully. That sentence stabbed straight into your chest, because deep down, that was the fear you never said out loud. You weren't scared of dying. You were scared of being remembered as weak. Tears spilled again, faster this time. Not angry tears, but shattered ones. Yin, I'm not weak. You kept shaking your head, almost desperately, as if you needed this stranger, this man you barely knew, to believe you. You wanted him to understand that you were not the fragile, helpless girl everyone assumed you were. You wanted him to see the strength you had tried so hard to carry alone. He nodded the moment you said it, finally letting go of your wrists. Jungkook, yeah, he whispered softly, you're not weak. Your wrists carried fresh red marks from how tightly he had been holding you. Guilt flashed immediately in his eyes. He reached out carefully, almost scared to hurt you again, and rubbed your wrists with his warm fingers. Jungkook, you're strong, he said again. You're not weak, you're just lost. His eyes lifted to meet yours, and the moment he looked into them, his breath hitched. All he saw was pain, not attitude, not rebellion, not anger, just pure, exhausted pain. It's okay, he murmured gently. Everything will be all right, come here. He opened his arms wide for you, just like that. No warning, no hesitation, the kind of gesture someone makes when they know how much a human body can hold before breaking. He remembered that his mother used to do the same when he was younger, and he knew how much a hug could reduce the pain, even if only for a moment. You stared at his open arms with confusion. Your hiccups made your head hurt, your lips trembled non-stop, and your shoulders shook every few seconds. You weren't used to hugs. You weren't used to comfort. It felt strange that someone, anyone, was opening their arms for you. He saw your hesitation instantly. You looked lost, scared, unsure, like your body wanted comfort, but your mind didn't know how to accept it. So he didn't wait. He leaned forward, gently slipped his arms around your shoulders, and pulled you into him as if it was the most natural thing in the world. Jungkook, it's okay. Jungkook whispered into your hair. You can hug me. You can make yourself feel better. Your arms moved on their own, wrapping around his waist with a kind of helplessness that broke his heart. Your forehead rested against his chest. You didn't even realize how close you were, almost between his legs, clinging to him because you didn't know where else to hold on. His hand slid into your hair, fingers brushing your scalp softly, trying to soothe the pulsing nerves that stood out from crying too long. His other hand stayed on your shoulder. Jungkook, it's okay, he repeated slowly. Cry as much as you want. I'm right here. I'll listen to you. You clutched his hoodie so tightly your fingers began to ache. Your shoulders shook violently, and your whole body curled into him. Jungkook immediately moved his hand to your back, but the moment he touched your skin, he froze. Your back was bare because of the type of dress you were wearing, and his palm had brushed your exposed skin. His breath hitched for a second. He moved his hand carefully, choosing to rub your exposed arms instead, and the back of your neck. You didn't notice. You were breaking, and breaking hard. Yin, I don't want to live anymore, you whispered into his chest. Jungkook didn't answer. He didn't argue or force positivity. He just held you tighter, letting your words fall into the space between you. Yin, nothing is fair, you whispered so soft he barely heard it, but his eyes closed for a brief second when the tip of your nose brushed along his jaw. You didn't even realize you did it. You were just trying to settle, trying to find a little more comfort in the warmth he was giving you, something your body had been starving for. The small touch made his throat tighten, but he forced himself to stay calm. Jungkook whispered softly, wait, take my hood. You'll be more comfortable. He tried to lift it, but the moment he moved even a little, your arms tightened around him desperately. It wasn't a conscious choice. It was instinct. You didn't want the moment to stop. You didn't want the comfort to loosen even for a second. When someone hasn't felt a real hug in years, even a taste of it becomes addictive. Yin, don't move. It wasn't a statement. It was a plea. Jungkook exhaled slowly, his breath brushing over the side of your head. Jungkook, it's okay. I've got you. His hand slid gently into your hair again, his fingers parting the strands. For now, he murmured, forget everything. Forget what happened. Just stay here, breathe with me, and listen here. He guided your head lower until your ear rested directly on his chest. Yin, heartbeat, you whispered, almost surprised, your voice small like a child discovering a new sound. Jungkook, yes, he said, brushing your hair back. Can you count them for me? Just count. It'll help you calm down. He was trying to pull you away from the dark thoughts, distracting you with something simple. You listened for a few seconds and then mumbled, confused Yin. It's so fast, I can't. Your tear-stained face tilted up to look at him, your eyes big and glassy, and for the first time he panicked. He blinked quickly and gently pressed your head back onto his chest, like he didn't want you to see the nervousness in his eyes. His heart was racing, of course it was. This was more intimate than anything he had ever experienced, but he didn't want to think about himself right now. Jungkook, it's not fast, he insisted. You're just drunk. Don't think about it. Just listen and relax. You hummed softly, a tired, defeated sound. Yin, hum. I'm really drunk. The words slipped out like your body was finally admitting what your mind had fought for too long. The silence settled between you again. You lay against his chest, listening to his heartbeat, breathing with him, letting him calm every shaking piece of you. 20 long minutes passed like that. But then something shifted. Jungkook felt it first, a strange slow movement near his waist. At first, he thought you were just adjusting yourself again, but you weren't. Your fingers weren't just holding onto him for balance or comfort anymore. They were exploring, rubbing lightly on the side of his waist, sliding gently over the fabric of his hottie as if you were memorizing the shape of him. You weren't messy or crying anymore. Your mind wasn't drowning in sadness now. It was somewhere else, completely somewhere else. You were too aware of him, his scent, his breath, the size of his chest under your cheek. Lust didn't explode. It slipped quietly into your blood and warmed you from inside. Jungkook felt it, the change in your touch, the softness, the intention. He cleared his throat, voice suddenly unsure. Jungkook, I think it's getting late, he murmured, brushing your shoulder with his thumb. Should I drop you home? He should have pulled back. He should have created distance, but he didn't. He didn't loosen his hold at all. He kept you fully wrapped in his arms while asking the question. You tilted your head up slightly, and for the first time really looking at him, his jawline so sharp, his nose straight and perfect. Your drunk mind made him look almost unreal, like something drawn too beautifully to exist in real life. Yin, you tried, but the words tangled on your tongue. He lowered his face a bit so he could hear you better. Jungkook, should I drop you? His voice was soft and encouraging because you were barely speaking properly. You swallowed. Yin, I fought with my dad, so I can't go back there. His whole expression softened instantly. Understanding slapped him hard. Your tears, your shaking, your breakdown, it all made sense now. He wondered what could have happened to make you break like that. He hummed quietly, looking down at you, ready to ask more. But then your hand moved. Your fingers reached up and traced the edge of his jawline slowly, gently, like you were trying to check if he was real. His breath hitched. He froze. Jungkook, hey, he whispered, but his voice didn't sound firm. It sounded shaken. You cupped the side of his face with your whole palm, your thumb brushing just beneath his eye. His stomach turned sharply as your gaze softened. Even drunk, your attention was intoxicating. Your lips parted slightly as you stared at him, and he didn't know if you realized how intimate it looked. Jungkook, I should get you home, right? He whispered. You can't stay here like this. Your dad must be calm by now, and worried for you. But then you leaned closer. Your lips, the softest part of you, brushed under his jaw, barely, just a feather soft touch. But it wasn't an accident. His breath escaped in a small gasp, his hand tightening around your waist. Yin, I don't want to go back there, you whispered into his skin. Can I come with you? His throat bobbed as he swallowed, and your eyes followed the movement immediately, almost fascinated. Your fingers lifted to touch his throat, tracing his Adam's apple, but he gently caught your hands before they reached him. Jungkook, all right, he whispered, accepting faster than he expected. I can't leave you here. My home it is. You blinked confused. Yin, will you really? It's okay. I wasn't serious. I don't mind sleeping here on the pavement. You can leave me here. Your voice, small, innocent, almost guilty, stabbed something deep inside him. Jungkook, are you stupid? He scolded softly, slipping his arm around your waist and helping you stand. How can you sleep here? People are not nice. Anyone could rob you or hurt you. Your arms looped around his shoulders clumsily as he pulled you up. You stumbled slightly, falling against him, and that made you giggle. Yin, are you a nice man? You said, giggling again, your cheek brushing his collarbone. Hearing you laugh after nearly dying made something explode warm inside his chest. He felt proud. He felt relieved. He felt useful, like he had done something right because you were here, alive, breathing, holding onto him. Jungkook, don't worry, he whispered. I am a nice man, and you're safe with me now. His arms stayed tight around your waist as he guided you through the hallway of his apartment. He had brought you here in a taxi, even though his place was only 10 minutes away. He couldn't risk walking with you in the condition you were in. The moment he unlocked his door and stepped inside, the empty space reminded him he lived alone, no family, no roommate, just him. Bringing a stranger inside wasn't the smartest choice, but leaving you out there would have been unforgivable. He didn't even know your name yet, but he knew you were hurting. He knew you were drunk, and he knew he was the only person who could keep you safe tonight. Jungkook, here, he murmured softly as he pushed open the bedroom door, his hand still supporting your waist. Sleep here for today. He spoke, and yet again he tried to move your arm off his chest. Your fingers clung to him, especially his chest, like you didn't want to lose the warmth. And stop touching me, lady, he added, trying to sound strict. But the slight shake in his voice made it obvious he wasn't used to talking like that. You had been sneaking touches here and there the entire time. Not dirty, just innocent little curious movements, like you had never touched a man in your life and you were trying to understand how one felt. Yin, your is so much flatter than mine, you whispered dramatically, staring at him as he helped you sit on the bed. His eyes flew open. Jungkook, what? Then you pointed at your own as if you were sharing a fun fact. Yin. Mine, you declared boldly. Mine are. You grabbed his hand and started pulling it toward. He panicked and snatched it away so fast his heartbeat stumbled. Jungkook, hey, calm down, he breathed out, running a hand through his hair. calm your nerves, calm your desires. You regret this in the morning. Yin, huh? You tilted your head, eyes round and confused. He shut his eyes for 1 second. How was he supposed to scold you when you looked like that? Messy, drunk, soft, and heartbreakingly innocent. He sighed and turned away, fluffing the pillow to distract himself from the heat crawling up his neck. Jungkook, please try to sleep, he said gently, trying to guide you down. He bent to remove your heels, and the moment his warm palm cupped your foot, your whole body shivered. You swallowed, wanting so badly to touch his hair. But before your fingers reached him, he stood up again. His hand came to your shoulder, easing you backward onto the bed, and the second your head touched the pillow, you grabbed his collar. There was no thought, no pause, no warning. You pulled him down and pressed your mouth to his. His entire body froze. His breath died in his throat. His legs turned weak. His breath disappeared. And for one terrifying second, he forgot how to exist. You kissed him with a softness that slowly grew into a hungry, warm pull, your lips moving, your arms wrapping around his neck, pulling him deeper and deeper. His heart didn't beat normally. No, it crashed so loudly. Inside him, he could feel it in his throat, because this was his first kiss. And it was happening like this. Deep, sudden, addictive. Jungkook, hey, he breathed against your lips. Finally gathering strength, he pushed himself up slightly, his palm sinking into the mattress beside your head as he tried to catch his breath. His chest was rising and falling too fast, almost shaky, his whole face burning a deep red that crawled all the way down his neck. His eyes were wide, still trying to understand what had just happened. Before he could even handle himself, you let out a soft little whine and lifted your face again, your lips parting as if you were going in for another kiss. You didn't even think about it. You just wanted him close again. His heartbeat stumbled, quickly, but gently. He brought his hand forward and pressed his warm palm over your lips. The moment his skin touched your mouth, he felt it, the heat, the softness, the wet shine from the kiss you had given him only seconds ago. And that one tiny feeling made his stomach twist painfully, not from disgust, not from fear, but from something he had never felt before, an urge so strong it made his fingers tremble against your mouth. Jungkook, don't, he whispered, please, don't do that again. Your lips moved under his palm, brushing his skin with a warmth that made his entire body tense. His breath hitched, his eyes fluttering for a moment because even stopping you felt too intimate. He swallowed hard, trying to gather the last bit of self-control he still had. Jungkook, stop, please stop. Yin, why? Your voice cracked small and hurt, like a child who didn't understand what they did wrong. It was like you didn't want to understand him at all. Jungkook, why? Is that even something to question about? He whispered. His eyes softened painfully as he stared down at your confused face. Jungkook, because you can't. You don't know what you're doing right now, and you'll wake up tomorrow and you won't like it. You'll think I took advantage of you. You lowered your gaze, your lashes trembling, sadness drowning your drunken eyes. You wanted him so badly it almost ached in your chest, and the rejection stung even through the fog of alcohol. Yin, please, you plead, and it nearly broke something inside him. He shut his eyes for a second. Jungkook, I'm sorry. He breathed, and even apologizing felt painful. I can't let you do this. He pulled away immediately, his hands shaking slightly as he made space between your bodies. You lay there on his bed, vulnerable, quiet, heartbreakingly beautiful in a way you didn't even realize. He swallowed again, the sight burning into him. Without thinking, he reached for the blanket and lifted it gently, tucking it around you, trying his best not to touch more skin than he had to. You didn't look at him. You didn't argue. Yin, I'm so sorry. He froze on the spot. You turned your back to him slowly, curling slightly under the blanket. I always make people upset. I'm sorry. You said it so quietly he couldn't hear the exact words, only a faint mumble. He stood there for a long moment, just staring at your small shape under the blanket, and only when he was completely sure your breathing had settled, slow and deep, then did he force himself to step away from the bed, one heavy step at a time. He walked out of the room with a heart that didn't feel like his anymore, and the taste of your kiss stayed with him, clinging to his lips, haunting him, like a ghost that refused to fade. Jungkook stirred on the couch, his body stretching lazily, but his eyes squeezed tightly as he tried to push himself awake. For a moment, he felt trapped, his hands restricted by the narrow space of the couch cushions. Confusion clouded his groggy mind, and then it hit him like a jolt. He remembered exactly why he had slept there in the first place. Jungkook, Oh God, he muttered, springing upright, the realization rushing through him. His hair was a wild mess, strands sticking to his forehead, and his eyes still heavy with sleep, blinking against the soft morning light. His steps were slow at first, hesitant, as if his body wasn't entirely awake yet, but instinct drove him toward his bedroom. He pushed the door open, expecting to see you still curled up under the blanket, but the sight froze him instantly. The bed was perfectly neat, the blanket folded neatly in the corner. Not a single sign of you anywhere. Jungkook, where did she go? He whispered, panic threading his voice. He checked the bathroom, the balcony, even the kitchen. But there was nothing. No footprints, no hair, no sign that anyone had ever been there. It was as if you had vanished into thin air, leaving the house exactly as it had been before you arrived. He sank onto the bed, his chest tightening, the sheets pressing beneath him. It was like a dream, a memory he couldn't quite hold. Someone had come into his life, given him the most intoxicating first kiss, the brush of lips that still tingled against his own, and then disappeared without a trace. A sharp pang of guilt struck him, almost shameful, almost guilty. What if, he thought bitterly, tilting his head to the side? What if he had just let you kiss him a little longer? What if he had let you hold on to him a little more? The what-ifs gnawed at him, twisting his chest with a mix of longing and regret. Jungkook, I'm going crazy, he muttered. The truth slammed into him like cold water. He might never see you again. That unknown girl, the one who had stepped so boldly into his life, leaving marks not just on his lips, but in his mind, might be gone forever. And the thought of it made his heart ache in ways he had never felt before, leaving a hollow, relentless longing that refused to fade. Jungkook sat in his usual chair, the same spot he had taken on the very first day he joined. Back then, he was excited, nervous, proud. Today, he didn't feel any of that. His head was heavy, his chest tight, and his fingers hovered over the keyboard without actually typing anything. Every time he tried to focus on the report, your face flashed in his mind, your glassy eyes, the way your voice trembled when you apologized, your soft whisper when you said please. The image kept looping inside him, stronger than the spreadsheet in front of him. He typed one sentence, then stopped, stared at the screen, zoned out into nothingness, his eyes fixed but seeing absolutely nothing. His stomach kept twisting for reasons he didn't know how to explain. A sudden nudge on his shoulder jolted him back. Clark, hey man, you okay? Jungkook blinked quickly. Jungkook, oh, yeah, I'm fine, totally fine. He straightened his back like a student caught daydreaming, but his awkward smile was enough for Clark to raise an eyebrow. Clark, you sure? You look like someone unplugged your brain. Jungkook laughed weakly. Jungkook, no, just tired. Clark let it go and pulled up a file. Clark, did you finish the reports? Miss Yin is coming today. You will need her signature. Jungkook, yeah, I'm almost done, he said, even though the page in front of him was barely half filled. He couldn't even imagine that Yin was the same girl who slept in his bed last night. The name felt unfamiliar, distant. He hesitated, then asked quietly, Jungkook, is she strict? Clark looked up, then shook his head immediately. Clark, no, she's not strict. If anything, she's the opposite. He frowned. Jungkook opposite. Clark leaned close like he was sharing something people shouldn't know. Clark, she doesn't talk much, barely speaks unless necessary. She always looks tired, like she hasn't slept in weeks. She never raises her voice, never complains, never looks angry or even annoyed. Jungkook's heart sank a little. Clark continued, lowering his voice even more. But her father, that man is something else. Jungkook listened silently. He controls everything she does, and I mean everything. From what time she comes in, to what decisions she approves. She can't even sign a document without double-checking if he'll get mad. He shook his head, frustrated. She's the CEO by name, but he's the real one running her life. Jungkook felt a strange ache inside him, but Clark still wasn't done. She doesn't get breaks, doesn't go out, doesn't have friends here. No one even sees her eat. Some days she looks like she might faint but still pushes through the entire shift. His voice softened. She never smiles, not once. I swear I've never seen a person look so trapped while sitting in a luxurious office. Jungkook felt a strange pang in his chest even before he saw who the CEO was. He swallowed. Jungkook, that's really sad. No one should live like that. How are you supposed to love your life if you can't even breathe? Clark nodded immediately. Clark, exactly. She even tried to resign once, but he didn't let her. Imagine being the CEO but not getting to decide your own future. Before he could say anything more, Clark's attention snapped toward the entrance. Clark, oh, they're here. Everyone in the office stood up automatically. Jungkook followed, still confused, still half in his own head. Two people walked in. A man, the secretary, whom he recognized from company emails, and beside him, a girl, the CEO. He couldn't see her face clearly at first, but something inside him already tightened, like his heart recognized something before his eyes did. The secretary stepped forward, holding a clipboard. Secretary, as you know, Miss Yin, we have new employees who joined this month. He scanned the crowd for the two names, Mr. Joseph and Mr. Jungkook. Jungkook bowed formally along with Joseph, and then, the CEO lifted her head from her phone. Jungkook's heart dropped straight into his stomach, because the girl standing in front of him was the same girl who cried in his arms, the same girl who kissed him like she needed air, the same girl who slept in his bed last night and disappeared at sunrise. Jungkook felt it, a sudden electric jolt through his chest that made his knees weaken and his fingers tremble. His body froze, his breath caught, and for a moment his entire mind went blank. You walked into the room completely different from the girl he carried last night. Your makeup wasn't smudged, your face wasn't wet with tears, your hair wasn't messy. Now it was sleek and sharp, your dress hugging your body perfectly, and your expression, cold, unreadable, almost emotionless. And your eyes? That was the hardest part. There was nothing in them, no recognition, no softness, no flicker of memory from the night before. It was like you didn't know him, like none of it had ever happened, like he never held you in his arms, never heard you whisper in your vulnerable drunken state, never felt your hands clutching his waist. It was like you were a stranger, and yet every part of his body screamed that you weren't. He couldn't even greet you. He just stood there, rooted to the spot, staring at you as if you were a ghost, and the awkward silence stretched until Joseph, sensing it, quickly stepped in. Nice to meet you, Miss Yin. I'm Joseph, and this is Jungkook, he said with a polite smile, bowing slightly and gesturing toward Jungkook. Jungkook forced himself to bow, stiff and almost trembling, still trying to make sense of seeing you again in this completely new light. The professional CEO instead of the fragile, drunken girl. You acknowledged the introductions with a small nod. Yin, I hope you will work hard, you said, and for a second your eyes lingered on Jungkook, drifting especially to his lips just long enough that both Joseph and the secretary noticed it. Before he could even recover or say a word, a hand slid possessively around your waist out of nowhere, pulling you slightly closer to someone standing unnervingly close in your personal space. You didn't flinch, didn't move, because you already knew who it was. The man smiled, his voice smooth and calm. Nick, hello. I hope I'm not disturbing any conversation. I have something important to discuss with my fiancée, so I'll be taking her. He smiled, not at them, at you, and without waiting for permission, he guided you away from the small gathered group, his hand staying glued to your waist as he led you toward your cabin. Jungkook felt the word hit him like a punch to the stomach. Fiancé. His knees nearly buckled, his throat drying instantly, a bitter knot forming in his chest. He watched your back, the way the man's hand rested so naturally against your waist, the way you didn't resist or even look back at him, and his mind refused to cooperate. You were getting married. You belonged to someone else. He had kissed you, held you, felt your lips on his, and now, watching you being taken by another man, it was as if all the warmth, all the closeness of last night had been ripped from him. A cold, sharp pain shot through his heart, and he bit his lip hard to stop himself from letting it show. And now everything Clark had told him about your life, about your father, about your struggles, made it worse. He realized it all. The girl he had saved from last night was you. He swallowed hard, feeling his chest tighten with a bad, twisting sense of helplessness. Joseph, sensing Jungkook's distraction, put a hand lightly on his shoulder. Hey, Jungkook, let's go to work. But Jungkook didn't move. His eyes stayed locked on the hallway where you had disappeared, and all he could think was that something was terribly, terribly wrong.